Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Our Get Ghosted podcast. I'm Isabel,
I'm Ari.
And I'm Elise.
and we're gonna start off this lovely podcast. We're gonna start off with some scary stories. We're gonna give our little personal experiences with the paranormal. This podcast is gonna be kind of like going into a bunch of different paranormal stuff like Waverly Hills, history of ghost sightings, history of ghost cases. Get into maybe like some movies. The Conjuring, obviously, as we know, is based off of a true story, so it's gonna be fun. Our DMs are always open. Go follow us at Get Ghosted Pod on Instagram, and yeah, our DMs are always open if anybody wants to give any requests or anything. So,
Or any stories that you guys want to share.
yes, give us stories. We'd love to read them.
Okay, Ari, do you want to start us off with your scary story?
Yeah, so I was at this one house, like, it was so creepy. Like, there was a, like, basement that scared me a lot. And I was coming up the basement, and I turned around, and I seen a shadow. Don't know if it was mine or not.
Wait, did you live in the house?
Yeah, I lived in the house.
Is it just like a person, just standing there, or what?
Yeah, it looked like a figure of a person, but it wasn't me. It was, like, bigger. So I didn't know, like, if someone was behind me or not. But I turned around and looked down the stairs, and I didn't see anyone behind me, so I didn't know what was going on.
So
Wait, hang on. Let me preface this too. We haven't told each other these stories. So
Oh,
these
yeah,
are
no.
we haven't heard any
Oh
of
wait,
these.
no, I want to go back to your
So
story.
we have
Are
some
you sure that you
questions.
weren't just big?
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was super duper skinny.
So did you? Wait. So did you ever hear anything, or do you still? So you don't live in the house anymore? Did you ever hear anything, or did the thing that you saw make noise, or
Like, no, it was like I turned around and seen it, and I was like, oh shoot, like what is? But and I ran upstairs, and I told my dad, I was like, Dad, someone was behind me, and he was like, you're tripping, bro. I was like, no, I'm not. I seen a shadow, and I was like literally bawling my eyes out. No one
Aw.
does not believe me to this day. It was so crazy.
That's so scary. I would never. I'd probably cry too, actually. Yeah. So if we have questions, guys, we have never heard
Yeah.
these stories before,
Yeah.
so we might have some questions for each other.
Yeah.
Elise, you take it away.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so one time I was at Tom Sawyer. We all know where that is, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then there's
Sawyer.
this wooded area that's not in the main part of the park, and there's this cave. It's called Sauerkraut Cave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so I was there with my brother because we were on a run, and this weird looking thing. It didn't look human. It was like a shadow, obviously, and it said it sounded like it said leave, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Was this during the day?
This was during the day.
Oh no.
And my brother starts screaming like a little girl and running away.
So he saw it too.
Oh, well, he heard it. I didn't really see it. He told me what it looked like. I didn't really believe him, but then I heard the leave. It was like, leave. And so he started running, and I was like, okay, I don't have the survival instincts of a fart, so I started running too, because if someone runs, you run. That's common sense.
you follow.
And I tripped over this thing. It wasn't there before, I don't think. Maybe I'm just really
Not a hiker.
klutzy. Yeah.
Not a hiker.
And not a hiker, apparently. But yeah, that was all that happened. So
That's so lovely. I love that.
I know.
Mine, it's a bit complicated because it was in fifth grade, and we were on a field trip to Fort Herod. Do you know Fort Herod?
No.
It's like a mock fort of like a colonial fort, and they also have a replica of Abraham Lincoln's cabin there, and they have a replica of a colonial style house. And we were on a field trip for fifth grade, and I was I was walking around with my friends the whole time, and the last place that we went was the colonial house. And it's turned into a museum, so there's a bunch of rooms, and the tour guide was taking us on a specific route through the house. So we were in the second room, and it was supposed to be the living room, I think, but now it had a bunch of display cases. And there was even a picture on the sorry, Ari's cough. Ari had a cough real quick.
Oh no.
But there was a picture on a painting on the wall, and it was painted in a certain way. It was painted a certain way to where the eyes would follow you.
I don't like that.
No matter
don't
where
like
you were in the
that.
room.
Scary.
So it was already like it was already like a little weird. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of this house actually. And so I was standing with my friends and we were kind of like messing around, joking around. And off in the dining room, which is like away, and we were the only group in the house. And off in the dining room, which was the last stop because we were going from front room, living room, upstairs, and then we'd make our way into the kitchen and then dining room. I heard like someone like coughing and wheezing, and then someone.
Was it Ari?
It might be Ari. Ari, you might be my ghost. But I heard someone say like I can't breathe. Like it's hard to breathe. I can't breathe.
No.
And I was like, okay, that's weird. And I turned to my friends and I was like, did you guys hear that? And only one of my friends, he was like, yes, I heard that. And everybody's like, no, you guys are insane. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you guys are insane. I was like, we were like, no, like, I swear, like, we heard somebody. Because I even asked him, I was like, okay, what'd you hear? He said someone was like coughing and like they couldn't breathe apparently or something. And I was like, that's exactly what I heard. So we went through the whole house, and when we got to the dining room, me and him ended up like right next to each other because we were standing around the dining room table, and only me and him like got this like big whiff of like floral perfume that like had us coughing, like because it was like such a big like you would breathe it in. It's like someone like sprayed perfume like right in your face, and you like were coughing and sneezing and stuff. Like that's what it was. Only me and him too, and we were the only ones that had heard that. And so when we go outside, we asked our friends, we were like, did you guys not smell that? And they're like, no, you guys are like delusional.
Oh my gosh.
Like they were making fun of us. And I was like, bro, I'm so serious. Lisa's taking a photo of me. I was like, bro, I'm so serious. Like, yeah. And he can even test that. If I were to ask him, like, I bet you he'd remember because we were freaked out the rest of the day. It was a whole thing. But yeah, that's really the only thing I have. Especially too, because like we were the only group in the house and we were all in the same area because it was like a guided tour. Like, you were on a specific route through the house. So
Wait, and you said that there were 4 people?
4 people what?
4 people in the house, like in your group.
No, it was like our whole class. It was like
Uh-oh.
like 18 of us.
And only 2 of you. Wait, that's
And
actually
only 2
crazy.
of us
that
heard
is
it.
really scary.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I was thinking like 4 people. I don't know why. That's
No, I
just-
was just with my friends. There was about like 6 of
Okay.
us in my friend group total, and then there was like 18 and like 2 teachers and a tour guide.
Okay.
And only me and him heard it, and only me and him were coughing.
That's crazy.
It was insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's my crazy story. We have a segment too that we're gonna do. The friends and family.
Yeah.
Friends and family stories that you've heard or like throughout your life or something.
Yeah.
If I can go, do you want me to go first? Does anybody have?
No, you've been talking too much.
Okay.
I think Elise has one.
Oh yeah, I
you?
do
Oh,
have
yeah.
one. Yeah. So my mom went to Waverly with my dad when they like first started dating. And they were on one of the historical tours, so it wasn't like the haunted house or anything. And the tour guides like started freaking out because the lights went off, and they were like, okay, so we sometimes freak out like to scare you guys, but we're actually like freaking out because the lights started to like actually like they went off. They were like, if we were trying to scare you guys, they would be flickering, but they all went out. Like the power completely shut down. And my mom saw like a shadowy figure like run across the hall, and she was like, what was that? Like, because there was no one else in the building. They were told that they were the only tour group in the building, and they like left obviously because they were like, we're not sticking around for this because we're not stupid. And my mom left, and then she remembered standing outside with my dad. My dad didn't see any of this. Maybe it's just because he was blinded and didn't have glasses yet. And they were standing outside, and my mom looked in the building, and she saw like a shadowy figure in the window, and it looks like the one that she had saw earlier. I don't know how she knows the difference between shadowy figures.
This one's more gray.
Right, it is. It definitely is. And she thinks that it followed her home.
Oh,
And
so you're cursed.
yeah. But she thinks that it's gone now. She's like,
Why did she think it followed her home? Was there like innocence?
because she felt its presence. Which
love that
I
for her.
think is kind
Hey,
of crazy.
hey, she's tapping into her third eye.
No, she definitely is.
Yeah.
Like a witch or something.
She's seeing the lights. Like
No, she said that she lit a bunch of candles and tried to perform an exorcism.
Wait, really?
Yes. She was in
In
her
the house.
20s though, so like
Okay. Well, I wouldn't want like. Was it her first house
uh
on her own?
no, it was the house that I live in now.
Oh, yeah. We have been to that house.
Yeah.
We are in. Me and Ari have been to that
Yeah.
house. So now we're
We're
cursed.
cursed.
No,
We're
no,
carrying a
no, it's
curse.
gone because the exorcism was was done.
Okay.
I do have a family
You do.
experience. Yeah.
Oh, go for it.
When I was younger, my brother told me to never eat in a bathroom because, like, he said apparently this one time he was eating like candy and like a sandwich in the bathroom, and he heard a voice.
There's
an
a
ant.
bug.
There's
And, and
I'm
he heard
listening.
like, yeah, he said he heard a voice, and apparently he said like it would be ghosts in the bathroom eating with you or whatever.
They wanted some
Is he your
candy.
older brother?
He's my older brother.
Okay, he's making that up. I can tell you that
He
as an
is.
older sibling.
Wait, did you eat in the bathroom?
I was always scared too.
Okay, but why would you eat in the bathroom?
I was like, why is
so
he having a
gross.
meal in the bathroom?
Yeah,
He's
and,
eating his meals in the bathroom.
Yeah, like he said he was eating.
Maybe
his
he had a
food in the
candy
bathroom.
drawer. he has a stash that he doesn't want you to find.
Yeah, but he said he heard a voice. Like he said, like he genuinely heard a voice, and I'll always like be scared to like go in a bathroom or like even chew gum or anything.
Was it your mom? Stop eating in the bathroom. Like,
Yeah, like I don't know. And this one time, my sister also ate in the bathroom, and I was like, "No, get out!"
what is with your family and eating in the bathroom?
I don't know. They're so gross.
Ew.
God.
I could never do that. Even with or without ghosts.
At least you. I mean, not Isabel.
I
She doesn't
do.
even
I
know
do
our
have one. I do
names.
have one, and it's my dad's story, and he's told this so many times. Like I can recite it like the back of my hand. So his first house he owned as an adult, because he's from Arkansas. He's from Little Rock, Arkansas. He came to Louisville in his college years, and he got a house right next to the University of Louisville, and I think it was in Germantown. And it's a small house. Like he's taken me by it ever since he told the story because I was like, I need to see this house now. But he lived in this house, and it was about his first month moving in or something. The neighborhood was like super friendly and inviting, and like he knew he met a lot of his neighbors and stuff. He said that I don't think he had good air conditioning or anything, so he didn't have like AC on in the house often. And he would often sleep on the couch because upstairs was just so hot. And so he was sleeping on the couch one evening. I think it was at nighttime, or maybe he was taking a nap midday or something. And he heard his basement door open, which was like right next to the living room where he was sleeping. He heard it open, and he heard someone walking upstairs, and he thought someone had gotten into his house because his basement had a window. So he thought someone had broken into his house, so he grabbed a baseball bat and he stood next to the door. He stood next to the door, and like he was like, I'm gonna hit this person whenever they come to the top of the stairs, because like, why are you in my house, right? And he heard the steps go all the way to the top, and then they stopped, and he like looked, and there was no one there. So he still thought that there was someone in his house. So he called his girlfriend at the time, and she had a Rottweiler dog. And he was like, I need to borrow your dog for like 30 minutes. So he went and got her dog. I don't think she lived too far. Got her dog, threw the dog in the house.
Threw it?
Not throw, but he like put it, it's a
Not
figure of
literally.
speech, at least. He put it in the house, and he was like, okay, well, anybody who sees that dog is gonna like get out of my house if there's someone in there.
No, Rottweilers are sweet.
Right.
They would run.
Well, like, he just looks intimidating. And the dog went off through the house, came back to the door, was like hitting on the door, like, let me out. So my dad went in, he investigated. He went down to the basement, and he had these garden stakes that were all like in the corner, like leaned up in the corner. And when he got downstairs, they were all scattered across the floor, like everywhere.
Was it like an animal? Like an animal that had gotten into the house?
No, and he looked at the window in the basement, and nothing was like broken or anything. There was just garden stakes all over the floor. And the little cupboard that he had under his basement stairs was open. And so he was like, oh, well, maybe there's something in there. He opened the door, and there was like crayon drawings.
What?
Like
Oh
little
my
kid
God.
crayon drawings. And he had he knew the people that had lived in the house previous had like kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was like crayon drawings all over the walls and stuff, but he didn't he never saw them before that, so he was a little freaked out by that. And then so months and months later, he was remodeling the kitchen,
Yeah.
and he was taking out like cabinets and stuff, and had to get to the take out the drywall because the drywall was like not the most trustworthy. And he found pieces of paper like used as insulation, and he opened it, and like in kindergarten when you're learning to write and there's like those big, like you have the dotted line and then like
Yeah.
2 lines to like your
Yeah.
lowercase letters and stuff. There was the name Anne written over and over and over on those kind of pieces of paper, like she was like learning how to like write her name.
Oh no.
What was
So
the
he
name of the
was-
kids before?
Well, he was like, okay, well, that's weird. And people use paper as insulation sometimes. And he was one day later, he was talking to his neighbor, and she was like, yeah, I'm like the 3rd generation. Like I've lived on the street my whole life. And he was like, oh, that's interesting.
Like
Why'd you-"
homeless?
No, like in the house.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, yeah, I grew up on the street. I lived in this house almost my whole life. And, and he was like, oh, that's cool. By chance, was there a girl in my house named Anne? She was like, yeah, actually in your house, there was like 7 kids that lived there. And one of them was Anne, and she was my best friend as a kid. And he was like, oh, was. And she's like, yeah, she died when she was 12. Or like when
That
she was
is
9 or 12.
terrifying.
Did they keep her drawings?
And stuff like that. But he had heard before like kids playing in his basement, like as a like with the steps and stuff. Like he heard kids down there,
When
and then
he
he saw
was-
the drawings, and
Why
then he saw
am
the
I
garden
hearing-
stakes, and then yeah,
Wait,
But-
this was when he owned a house?
yeah, it was his first house too.
Are you sure like there wasn't like a homeless man like hiding in a house or something?
We
Named Anne?
a homeless man that sounds like children playing in the basement. Yes, of course.
That's scary.
But yeah, he's told that story so many times, and he took me by the house, and it looks scary. Yeah, but he calls it his haunted house, and so he lived there. It was his first house. Like that's a great experience.
How long did
Yeah.
he live there?
I think a couple years.
Because I would have moved.
I would have been out the first day.
Yeah, see, we're on the same page.
I would have left. Yeah, but his like the whole thing with like the AC that I mentioned, like there's no draft for the door to open. Like he's talked about,
Oh.
like the door would open all the time, and it was not a quiet door. It'd be like over and over and over and over and over. Yeah, he'd hear kids in the basement all the time. The drawings would pop up randomly. Yeah. I was like, so you better not have anything with you because
Was he living there like alone? Like,
yeah.
oh my
Well,
gosh.
He's a big guy.
No, he wasn't really ever scared. He was like, oh, okay.
You
He's
should have been
nonchalant
friends
like
with it.
that.
I would have been like, hi, Anne. What's up?
Please. Yeah, he's nonchalant like that, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. He should have gotten his Aztec soul out. Like scared the kid.
My dad owns an Aztec death whistle. That's what she's talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, it's very loud.
We'll post a clip of it with Duran.
Duran, shout out. I scared
Yeah.
Duran with my Aztec death whistle, and he punched me.
I still have.
he pushed me. And
video.
he pushed me into a wall.
He went, ah!
Yeah, that was funny. Guys, we have
I've
sound.
been wanting to press that the whole time.
Okay. Well, we're at 20 minutes.
We are?
Yes,
Okay.
we are, and that's our limit for our thing. Quick outro. Quick, what we have coming up next. We hope next week to get home pride, Kentucky Pride. You know,
Yeah.
get into Waverly Hills. We know it was mentioned this one. There is the notorious like sighting at Waverly Hills is called the Crawler. You know, so we'll get into that. Get into the history a bit. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. And if anybody has like any stories, like maybe you visited Waverly, like
Yeah.
we'll let DM us, guys.
Or
Yeah,
even if it's not about Waverly, like give us stories and we'll work it into one of the episodes.
Yeah, we'll work. Yeah, we'll come back through, do another story episode if we get any more stories.
Yeah.
You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Get Ghosted podcast, maybe a TikTok eventually,
Maybe eventually.
some clips
yeah.
and stuff. And yeah, once again, I'm Isabel,
I'm Ari.
And I'm Elise.
and this is Get Ghosted. Bye.